We have a lot to cover because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the exact strategies, okay, that I've figured out how to grow gyms, not just mine, but now gyms in our community. And I'm going to give you guys the tactical details to take it, run with it, and do exactly the same if that's what you guys want to do. Cool? Sweet. And so what I want to do is I want to take the mystery out of scaling acquisition for you guys. And I'm going to show you guys the exact offers and the exact sources that I've used to figure out how to bulletproof my gym and others in our community and take them from struggling to bulletproof. Cool? So guys, I need one commitment from you, which is to be here, locked in. Shout out to Mariko, wherever you are. Really, really, really be here with me. Be where your feet are, right? That's head down, right? Write the things down, head nods, hand raises, that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, we're going to get tactical, and I'm going to show you guys a new strategy to bulletproof your gym called the 3 pillars of acquisition. How to get way more members for way less dollars and make way more money. You guys good with this? Sweet. Now guys, I'm sure you guys have been in the game for a while. This is probably not your first presentation with like a big bold promise, big headline. It's not your first rodeo. And so if you've heard this stuff before, but you've failed to scale acquisition in your gym, I want to repeat what Alex said on this stage last year. He said, what's killing most of you guys is the desire to 10x in 90 days and then not doing it, trying something new, and hoping for a silver bullet that never comes. Because the truth is, guys, the big businesses, the gyms that scale and stay there, they know there is no silver bullet. It's just golden BBs. It's improving one thing, one small thing, after another and after another. And so today, we change that. We break that cycle. And we use the compound effect to grow your business. And the compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. And so, if you guys have been working hard but going nowhere, or maybe it's been a little bit more of a roller coaster, right? Whether it's months or a few years, I'm here to tell you guys I totally get it, okay? I was there, and although it almost killed me, seriously, it took me going through like a pretty rough accident, series of like pretty unfortunate events. But at the end of the day, figured out a way through that journey to increase new member sales by over 100%. And it's been the fuel, it's been the driving force between from where I was to where I'm now and being able to actually have a gym where I step out of, I spend an hour a week on Zoom, make about $150,000 to $220,000 a year profit on it, okay? And I say this because if I were in your shoes and I were in your seat, I would want to know, what have you done, okay? And I will never, ever, ever give any advice to any of you that I actually wouldn't try and do in my own business. Cool? All right. So we know there's a lot of that, right? Just like random advice. So, clearly it wasn't always this way, all right? Quick background on how we got here. About 10 years ago, guys, I was the doing-it-all gym owner, right? Still running sessions, doing the sales, dealing with all the problem clients, right? Coming home at night with my family already asleep. Anyone know that life? Anyone? I lived it for a while. And don't get me wrong, guys, it wasn't like I was doing that bad. It's just that the gym needed me in it all the time, right? 5, 6 days a week, 12-hour days. And in doing all that, I was running around also going masterminds, events, trying to look for that silver bullet to grow the gym. And then one day, I get this video on my phone. This is Chase, my oldest, and I'm not going to play the video for you because I played it for one of our team members the other day. A little hard to get through. But this is Chase. He's calling out the window, and he's wondering if I'm going to be home anytime soon. He's actually literally calling out, looking for me. And it was gut-wrenching, right? So he's wondering if Dada, as he said it at the time, would be home anytime soon. And the truth is I wasn't, right? I wasn't going to be home anytime soon. And the truth is I opened this gym, like many of you, I'm sure, to do what you want when you want. But the truth is, the gym owned me, right? I was a slave to it. Anyone ever feel like that? Maybe not all the time, but sometimes you feel like that, yeah. Well, Chase got his wish, because right around this time, I had a rough accident in the gym. I fell right on my head, right? Busted my brain, had a neck, brain, spine injury, ripped me out of the gym overnight, okay? I'm talking like memory problems, speech issues, vision problems, all the things, like total nightmare situation for anybody that is needed in their business. And so as I sat there with my heart pounding, waiting for the doctor to tell me how bad the damage was, all I could think about was what was going to happen to the gym if I couldn't be there. So the doctor turns to me, Dr. Joe is his name. Dr. Joe says, Mike, I see this injury every single summer, and people diving in the wrong end of the swimming pool. I didn't even know that was like a thing. Apparently, a couple drinks happens pretty often in the summer. So anyway, he goes, you're lucky you're not paralyzed, right? You're lucky, but your brain's in trouble. And so if you're not careful, you can get stuck here. So you need to listen very carefully. He said there's two types of people that walk out of this room. First, it's a person that takes a shortcut. They say they want to change, but they don't do the necessary work. They don't follow the plan, and for them, nothing changes if nothing changes. The second type of person is the one that understands the assignment. They do the hard work. They trudge through the shit. And on the other side of that is a chance at an incredible life. And so he wasn't done. He says, basically for the next few months, I need you to live in a cave, right? Tons of sleep, no screens, low stress, no loud music, give your brain a break. And he had no idea really what I was doing for work, right? And so he says, so what's life look like? Can you make this happen? And I'm like, okay. Thinking you're just a baby at home, another on the way, stressed out of my mind, trying to grow the gym, right? Staring at my screens all day, trying to figure it all out. And in that moment, I was terrified, but I was also faced with a choice. I knew the way that my gym, I knew the way that I was running the gym wasn't working. I was 10 years into running the gym. My income hadn't changed in years. I had like next to zero savings. I wasn't seeing my family. My friends are all moving on and up in their careers. And here I am, injured and with no end in sight. So maybe I need to be dropped on my head. I don't know, come at this thing from a completely different angle. And so I did it. I burned the boats. I fired myself from being in the building, and I took my small but mighty team and I just elevated them to take over everything I did. Now, mind you, this is a back against the wall moment, right? This had to work. It was my family's only income at the time. I was putting my kid's mother through school at the time, okay? Nursing school. And so whatever I did had to work. But I wasn't about to see, have Chase or his soon-to-be baby brother, see dad get beaten, have everything torn down. And so I thought to myself, what's the one thing that I could do from home? And if I achieved just that, it would be unreasonable for my gym, my team to fail. So, flood them with leads, right? I thought if I could just crush them with leads, we couldn't fail, right? Because as Alex said in his newest book, it's hard to be poor with leads banging down your door. Now, I didn't know Alex at the time. I hadn't met him yet. But this was my thought process, was if I could just crush them with leads, make it easy to sign up members, we'd be good to go. And so that became my focus. That was my job. I had to be the rainmaker, right? And here we are, after a few ads, copywriting, funnel building courses later, right? The leads and the trials are coming in. We were doing it all. I mean, month after month after month. We had people pull out their credit card on funnel, doing all the things, right? We're doing everything. 7-day trial, 3-day pass, 2-week thing, everything. And we're crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. So I thought, we did it. From home, just a week, an hour or two a day, not a week. I was crushing it, crushing my team with sales appointments. They were signing contracts left and right, and the team was knocking them down. The gym was absolutely rocking. But the thing is, my bank account would tell you guys a different story. And so we went over a full year running this model, right? Month after month after month, I was barely scraping by for some reason. And so it took a while, but finally, I sat down, I'm like, what is going on, right? The gym's growing. We got basically unlimited leads. Still, I have zero savings. What's going on? So I sat down, figured out what was going on. And so this is what it looked like. We throw about $1,500 into Facebook ads. We got about 100 trials, all sorts of different offers, like I said. 70% would schedule, 70% would show, 50% would convert. And so boom, I'm thinking like 25 new members at the end of the month. Boom, the small little gym, I own the whole thing, right? We're rocking, right? Wrong, because we had a problem. The problem was, week 1, we'd come up with the offer, we'd launch the ads. Week 2, we'd get them in, we'd get them scheduled, they're going. Week 3, we'd meet, we'd convert them over into a membership, and then by the end of the month, obviously they're paying, they're on memberships and everything like that. But the problem was this. In those same 4 weeks, my gym of 150 members with 13% churn would lose 20 to 25 members every month. And so we worked all month long to sign up these members just to replace the ones that left, right? And so it felt a lot like this. My team was getting burnt out. They wanted more money. And this was not a situation of not having a good team. I have really, really good people. And I was back in the trenches over a year later now. I was all healed up. I was like shoulder to shoulder with them. And all I wanted to do was take care of them. And I remember the sinking feeling of what was going to happen if I lost them, right? After all we'd been through, taking those steps back. And so with no great plan in sight, I had this brilliant idea. I can't believe I found this in my email the other day, looking back for the story. I took out a 30% interest loan, trying to get a runway. Put this in the column of like, don't do this, okay? So I'm gonna give some advice. This is like the don't do this column, all right? $55,000 loan, I got 53, wired to me, 30% interest. I got $71,000 due in 12 months. Not a good idea. And so I figured, pay him a little more, keep my team, we can pump ad spend, we'd be ready to rock, let's go. Wrong. Because any of you guys been in the game for a while, running ads, you guys know every few years there comes this Facebook slap, and this was the first big one. And so what happened was our model broke overnight, right? Leads, trials, paying on funnel, everything broke, everything dried up. We went from like just raining, right, new opportunities to just dead. And so just like that, back against the wall again, I'm here. I got through the hardest year of my life. I'm back in the trenches, ready to go, all healed up. And the gym's basically just hanging by a thread with one Facebook update. And now I had been in the digital marketing world for a while, right? I was at home, like obsessed with all that stuff, and I heard about this guy, Alex, in the gym space, just absolutely crushing it, right? And then this ad pops up, Crazy Kill shared the same one as the OG. He says, I'm closing $500 down in the ghetto, how's your gym doing, right? Obviously the ad was better than that, but that's basically what I heard. And I'm thinking, 191 signups in 3 weeks, that's $95,000. What the fuck is going on? Right? This is the time when I'm losing money on marketing, right? I went from trials just coming in droves. We can't get anybody in. And so here I am, I'm losing money on marketing. My team's arm wrestling people for $99, $150 a month memberships, right? So he's got my attention. So I book a call with the gym launch sales team. Crazy, I get this invite from this guy, Kale. This is the first time we met. He was the sales manager at the time. Hopped on, go through the whole model, right? Digging into how the gym's working. And he's like, man, like actually, dude, you figured some stuff out. The problem is you're selling them into the wrong thing, right? Problem is your offer and what you're selling these leads into. And that one conversation forever changed my life. And this is where I discovered it doesn't matter how many leads you have if they're flowing into a broken model. And so this is where Pillar 1 comes in. Pillar 1 is your liquidation offer. What's it called? Your liquidation offer, guys, is your grand slam offer that promises a dream outcome. I'm going to say that again. Your liquidation offer is your grand slam offer that promises a dream outcome. It gets those that are in pain that want to change to raise their hand by leading with benefits instead of features. And the reason it's called a liquidation offer is because people are willing to pay high ticket prices, which then in turn liquidates all your marketing costs, pays for the acquisition, and you make money day one. And when we went from selling access to a workout to a dream outcome, we went from selling fitness to selling results. So just to put this into perspective, What one looks more valuable to you guys? Try a week of classes, offer A, or offer B. New ultimate body transformation, guaranteed results in 8 weeks or less. A or B? I didn't hear you guys. B. Obviously, right? Because it answers the question, what's in it for me? What is going to happen as a result of possibly taking a step forward and taking part in this, right? Now, there is a place for free sessions, which I'm going to get to, guys, but getting this right, part one of the 3-part system I'm going to give you guys today, getting this right is absolutely critical. This is the spearhead, and so I'm going to go deep on this, guys, and for some of you guys, this is actually not new at all, right? We're going to get tactical here. It's not new, but for those of you guys that are already doing this type of offer and running your ads in this way, it's important that you guys compare against what you're doing now, because one little question that I pose here may unlock something new for you guys to improve your front end, which in turn is going to make everything else stronger, okay? So if this is new, guys, grab your pen. You've got to get this down. You've got to actually install this, because this one thing is going to absolutely take your business to a whole new level. Cool? All right, so step one on your liquidation offer. It's a short-term program, also called a defined end program, okay? Typically 4 to 8 weeks in length, and it's built to get the average person that walks in your building maximum results in a short amount of time. So to do that, you've got to include all of the bells and whistles, right? All the things to help them achieve the results in just a few weeks. So that's the fitness, the nutrition, the community, right? The support, accountability, all the things. It's anything the average person needs to get through those bottlenecks and roadblocks from their first month or two, okay? Key, guys, is not to hold back, because I'm sure we've also seen a few Roberts in our day, right? Thought you guys would like that. Because at the end of the day, guys, and I know you know this, but the average person is not you. As I look around this room, I see the most focused, disciplined, badass human beings. Gym owners are just built different, right? And the world needs you. And if you want to actually leave your mark and not just change one person's life, but you really want to make that massive impact, you have a responsibility to build a world-class program that you can onboard people into at scale that will get results over and over and over again. And so we did that, planned it out, and of course you got to have all the basics, right, and communicate in a way that actually sounds doable, right, to that average person. All the things like fun, beginner-friendly workouts they'll actually look forward to, simple meal prep, so easy my 8-year-old could do it, personalized coaches check-ins so they'll never fall off and crush those goals week over week. But what about the other stuff? This is key. What if they missed a workout, right? Do you have a system to know that they missed that workout? Do they have an at-home workout plan sent to them immediately? Can they come in within 24 hours to make that up, right? So they don't fall off. What if they're going out to eat? Can they live their life on your program and also have the guidance in their pocket, right? If they're craving sweets at night, have you already prepared them for this and giving them these resources immediately? I gave you these 3 questions. You could ask 20 questions to you and your team, and you could immediately update and improve your product now. This is key. Don't just set it and forget it. Because when it has all the solutions, when it's loaded with every possible solution, it becomes a system designed to get insane results. When it's designed that way, you guys know it's worth more. You'll be able to charge more. People will be happy to pay more, and of course, they'll get better results because of it, okay? Total win-win all around. And at the end of the day, after all, didn't you guys get into this? Hands in the air. Who got into this to actually transform some lives and actually make a difference in your community? I want to see them. I love it. Guys, if that's true, you have a responsibility, right, to build your programs and your service in a way that's actually going to do that. Because the truth is, most people, right, very few people actually want to work out. But everyone wants to look better, be healthier, right, get off the medication, look better naked, right, have more energy, run around with their kids or their grandkids for another year, or just even maybe just fit into the old pair of jeans. Or how about having their wife look at them the way she used to? Like, how much is that worth? I can tell you guys I can only tell you my story. Of the 2,000 or so sales appointments I personally took, it's worth a lot. And so if you've never done this before, here's how to price it. Real quick, before we get to pricing, this is Gym Launch World, so like this is floor pricing, just like as some guidance for you guys. I'm gonna give you the floor pricing. You can always go above this, right? Because we don't hate money. You can always charge more than this. But for large group, defined end program, 4, 6, 8 weeks in length, we define large group as 16 plus in a session. We won't get into why and all that. That's for another presentation. But you want to be at $100 a week, so a 6-week program would be about $600. 8-week program would be about $800. For semi-private or PT, 1-to-1 up to 6-on-1. Yeah, take a picture of this, guys. $200 a week or more. I'll tell you why in a minute. So it's a 6-week program at $1,200, 8-week program at $1,600, sorry. And now health clubs. How many health clubs in the room? General access. All right, I love it. You guys have a massive advantage, okay? Because you guys, you can sell directly into PT or semis using that pricing above, or you can downsell into a Kickstarter, okay? And a Kickstarter is selling somebody into direct general access, right? But also being able to give them a self-guided program that's delivered through Trainerize or any other app, right? Coach Catalyst, where the cost to fulfill is basically nothing, but there's huge value on the front. And so instead of actually waiving your sign-up fees like so many clubs do, you can still charge $100, $200 down because it's included and also get the recurring on the back, so you get the upfront cash. Cool? So why these prices? This is key. Obviously, you guys know this, but sometimes we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. And so the first one is when they pay attention, right? You got to charge enough to make sure that it stings, so somebody actually changes their behavior and they actually want, they actually want to do the thing. They're more likely to shift their behavior, and in turn, they're going to get better results. So if all you want to do, if all you guys want to do is actually get incredible results, you have a responsibility to charge more. You guys see that? If that's all it's about for you guys, I just want to actually make an impact, get incredible results, you have a responsibility to charge the right price. Also, it liquidates marketing costs and makes recurring on the back look affordable. All right, so here's how it went for us. So we turned the ads on. This was crazy because this was in the environment of us just not getting leads, right, and trials anymore, so the whole thing dried up. And all of a sudden, changed the offer, launched it up, boom, and leads were flowing again. So apparently, the offer matters, right? Heard there's a great book about that. Now, 9 a.m., I remember this. So we had a 9 a.m. session. We had, obviously, people were still on their trials. And we converted somebody at like $99 down for the membership. And then in walks our first transformation appointment. I was nervous. I was like, practicing the script. Like, what's this program about? It was new to me. But we did it. So 9 a.m. session leaves. And then I'm sitting down. And in 30 minutes, after talking about like what type of result do you want? What have you tried in the past? What are you struggling with? Well, here's our program options. This is what we're doing. She put $600 down after 30 minutes of a conversation, having never stepped on the floor. And that's where my mind was absolutely blown. I didn't have to wait 2 weeks, right? I didn't have to fulfill on anything. I didn't arm wrestle over $100. So we 6X'd the price on the front. And she was stoked, like she was pumped to be part of this program. And this is when I knew, and this is where I realized, like the pricing was my constraint before on the way that I used to acquire, right? So my first pillar, the old one, was priced wrong, and why a ton of gyms get stuck on acquisition, right? You don't get enough cash back to take and pour back into ads to go get more, and also have some left over for yourself, your team, and also to pour into your members in your facility. You're just cash flow poor. And so with this, we basically had an ATM machine in the gym where we could just put $1 in to marketing, get $2, $3, $4, $5 back immediately, and cash flow problems were totally solved. And so let's play out the math real quick if you guys are kind of new to this game, all right? Let's say you launch your campaign for $25 leads, all right? Let's say you get $25 leads. You get about 50% of the schedule. It's going to cost you guys $50 to get a schedule on the books. Let's say like a bunch of people don't show up. Happens, right? Costs you guys $125 to get a show. And the reason I'm walking through this is because I want to show you how you can be profitable even with not so amazing conversion numbers. Let's say you just suck at sales. You're just not that great. Okay? I know some of you guys in the game, you've been at this, you probably closed 70, 80%. But let's just say only half of them sign up for the thing. It would be a $250 CAC, right? Kale already went over what this is. This is your cost to acquire a customer. Pretty average, by the way. 250 in the gym space, right? Another way to look at this is you close 10% of leads with these numbers. And this is a great target for every single one of you guys, is closing 10% of your leads. Now, if you've never run paid ads before, if you're all organic, you might be like, I closed 70% of them. But those are the people that came and found you, right? Once you turn ads on, it's a different game. And so basically with this model, you're buying 10 leads and getting a contract. Got it? And as long as you're following the floor pricing, you're going to be 2 to 1 on the front right away. And this is called client finance acquisition. This is where you guys put money into marketing, you get more back immediately. Client finance acquisition is when your new member just financed the cost for you to acquire the next member. Meaning you guys never have to come out of marketing or never have to come out of pocket for ad spend again. So when you hear people talk in our Gym Lords community about not needing a marketing budget, that's what this is, right? And so just to put this into perspective, break some beliefs, we went from like arm wrestling people for $99, for $99, $150 memberships to people throwing money at us to join 6-week, 8-week, 12-week programs, $1,000, $1,500, $5,000 programs, obviously at the kickboxing studio that Kale talked about earlier, okay? And so this one pillar gave me the cash flow to take care of my team, transformed the gym into a place that people love to be, and it gave me the freedom to spend time with my boys, travel with the woman of my dreams, and I thought I nailed it. And so it gave me the freedom to also be able to come on board here at Gym Launch and give back to the community that gave me so much to help you guys, to help other gym owners achieve their dreams. And so with the gym, I actually thought I made it, right? The model was good, we're strong, and I used this pillar all by itself for 4 straight years. Until one day, I woke up and my Facebook was hacked, okay? Dead in the water, like literally somebody was moving fake handbags. I was paying the ad spend, and they were literally moving product, and I couldn't really get in. And this was not a situation, as a marketer, I was actually kind of impressed of like their numbers, but I couldn't get in. Like it was not a week, okay? This is not like make another account. This was a nightmare. And this is months and months and months of being dead in the water. So I was locked out over and over again. Here I am, third back against the wall moment, right? First the injury, then there's like the Facebook slap, the whole model breaks, and now here we are, and the gym's in free fall. Because at 250 members, at 13% churn, basically nobody coming in the front. I mean, we'd have a trickle, like a walk-in or whatever, but like at the end of the day, this is what it looked like. We'd lose 30 members every month, and I laid there, I remember looking at my phone, I'm looking at the numbers, and I just realized, like, I put my business in this position to rely on one place for new clients, right? So my team had no lever to step on, no pedal to step on, no lever to pull to actually get, leads or members anywhere else. And so right here, guys, is where I knew I had to change my business model, and I'd never have a business that relied on one source for new customers again. And so I'd like to say that it was like this mad scientist, like in the lab moment where I just like figured it all out and emerged. But at the end of the day, honestly, it was months. It was just grinding. It was just figuring this thing out. And we tried it all, like just all the crazy stuff. You guys been in the game for a while, probably looks familiar, but it's like the bring a friend, right? Direct mail, snipe signs, posting content, messing with the website, all the stuff, right? But luckily, the time spent when I was laid up, just obsessing over digital marketing, doing the webinars, reading the books, and doing all those things started to actually pay off. And as we kept going, new channels started to emerge of how we can actually get clients. And 2 of them would actually change the future of this gym and now other gyms in our community. And so pillar number 2 is how we actually increased revenue. We increased member sales by 50% without spending another dollar on ads. Who likes the idea of actually increasing new member sales by 50% without spending another dollar? Love that. All right, cool. So, pillar number 2, guys, your catch-all offer. What's it called? Cool, I didn't hear you. What was it? All right, guys, this is a low barrier, simple to say yes to offer that you put on your website. And I know what you're thinking. Great. Sounds too simple, right? But the magic here is everything that I'm going to lay out is the details. It's the golden BBs, like Alex said, okay? And so As we were posting content and trying anything and everything to get leads, we were noticing that like we're trying hard, we're doing all this stuff, and then really nothing was happening. No leads were coming in. And then one day, we messed with a couple things at the same time, and then all of a sudden, we started to have some lead flow, okay? So what we did is we took our website that had all different buttons to explore, right? Just like every website you know out there, and we killed the whole model, right? We just killed that. And we changed it to a simple one-page, one-button site to take action on, okay? The offer was like a free, and we tried a couple, free pass, you know, free session, super simple, basically something that would be like no thinking required. And you'll see this as a theme in pillars 2 and 3, which is like no thinking. Really, really key, all right? And what happened when we did this thing, when we pulled all these levers at the same time, one page, one button site, very simple to say yes to, different offer than was in the ads, all of a sudden, all the things that they were doing started to actually produce some leads. But the craziest part is what happened when we actually turned ads back on. This is when it got nuts. Because the leads from the organic site that we posted started going insane. And we started capturing all sorts of leads. Apparently, we're missing out on the entire time. And I hadn't really thought about it at the time, but it makes so much sense, right? Because at the end of the day, people shop you more than you could ever imagine. Think about your own journey when you look into somebody, right? And so what's really going on here is as your ads are rocking in pillar number 1, yeah, there are some people in so much pain, or they're just that type of person that they click, they opt in, and they buy right away. But there's a lot more people that are checking you out, right? And they're just not ready yet. Maybe they take a different path, right? Maybe they like the idea of a transformation, but they want to check out your vibe. Maybe they'd like to, you know, take a workout, see your reviews. They just want to see if you're legit. So they take a different path, and maybe they land on your Facebook page, right? If there's a website on there, maybe they'll click that. They go to your Instagram, they check out your stories, what's going on there. They Google you, what's in your, right? What's in your Google My Business. And of course, all the different places, right? Maybe they'll land on your TikTok, whatever. And so we can catch every single one of them, which we were not doing before, with a simple all-road system to have all of them flow into one simple site, right? So that no matter where they come from, they all end up in one spot, and boom, we got them. Because at the end of the day, guys, all of the ones that clicked away from that first ad, they said no to the first offer. They didn't say no to you. So it's having the second catch-all offer that actually makes this thing work, okay? And remember this is huge. It's not illegal to sell them expensive stuff. Just because they came on a free pass, a free session, because you updated your money model in pillar number 1, you guys actually can all sell them high ticket on the back. Cool? And so the way it works to get started with this, guys, really simple. It's a one-page, one-button site, right? You put a free session or free pass on there. Again, one page, one button. So simple. When I say the button, I'll explain it in a bit. You can have the button a couple places on the actual site. Now, you take that catch-all link, you put it absolutely everywhere. So think about like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all these places like digital real estate, you want to plant your flag in so no matter where they land, they can find you and go through that door. Cool? Now, this is key, the golden BBs. The little pieces that actually make this thing crush, okay? So hopefully you guys dig the details here. All right, when you do this, get yourself a software, some type of thing, maybe, you know, whether you guys are into this stuff, building it or having someone else build it. Gym Lords, you know, we take care of you. What you want to do is when they opt in on the site, send an actual visual of a voucher to their phone so they feel like they have something that's burning a hole in their pocket that they absolutely need to use. This right here shifts the positioning. You guys are able to now reach out and just say, hey, you know what? Time to activate your pass. And just that change in language will actually lead to you guys having like increased response rates, schedule rates, and sales. Cool? Again, guys, just the golden BBs. Now, one more for you guys. Now that you guys got this asset, right? You got this page. You want to push as many eyeballs to it as possible. Which, by the way, we've tested a bunch of different templates. We got 4 different layouts that we found really convert really, really well. So as you explore building this, just pay attention to the data, right? What's the conversion rate? How many people are opting in? Change one thing, try it again. Obviously, like I said, gym lords, hang tight. But once your page is ready to go, if it's okay with you guys, I just want to share with you guys a simple framework to post content, right? Using Instagram stories. And the beautiful part about this, guys, you can learn it in like 2 minutes. And whether it's yourself or your team, who has a team here? Like at least one employee, just like get a feel. Oh, perfect. All right. So you can teach your team in like 5 minutes. They can own it forever. Who likes the idea of them posting content and it actually driving some sales? Yeah? Sweet. All right, my team just did this week. We got a bunch of organic leads and contracts are coming in. So this is like stuff, like I said, I would never tell you to do anything that I wouldn't do in my own business. Cool? All right. So what you want to do is you want to post what I call a story series. Now, obviously, that's like me. You would use your business page, right? And it's a simple posting framework that goes like this. So first one is you post what we call a hook, okay? Your hook is your big announcement. Accomplishment, transformation. I told you guys we're getting tactical here, right? It's just not high-level strategy. So it's something to get attention. Immediately after that, you're going to post another story. That's called the story. I know, kind of weird there. But we're going to go a little deeper and connect with the audience on that, all right? And then the third one's going to be called the offer. I actually got hook story offer for any of you guys like Russell Brunson fans. Got that from him a long time ago. But then applying it to the Instagram stories, it really works well, okay? So on the offer, this is where you give your audience a chance to step forward and actually take action, right? Give them an opportunity to actually come on to the gym after you connected with them through the story. So it looks like this. So first one's a hook, boom, huge win alert. Julia lost 100 pounds. You have obviously everyone's attention, right? Not everyone, but a lot. Now we got attention. We're going to tell a little bit about the story. You guys can get creative with this, right? This can be another picture. You can be an actual written story, but you get the idea, right? She was stuck. She was struggling. In her first 8 weeks, she lost 26 pounds. Right now, all this confidence, boom, she's crushing it. The offer, right? And there it is. Super simple, right? Big thing is that you want to put that link on the bottom. So there's your catch-all offer link. You put it right on the bottom. And what's great about this, guys, you can use this framework, give it to your team, and then you can roll in so many different like topics, right, across this. So you can go like new member, right? New member alert. Somebody just PR'd their deadlift, like whatever you want, okay? Meal plan hacks, events, whatever. And also, if you guys then take the offer and you rotate the call to action on the back, no one will ever know you're using a simple framework like this. So the offer can be the link. The next time you do it, you guys can put DM us. The next time you do it, you can click the link in bio. And so now you have this super simple framework. Because when you start to look at content, it can be overwhelming. And anyone ever try and get their team to post content? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. I don't know about you guys, frustrating as hell for me. So I created this to help them. And now they love it. They want to win. That's the thing with your team, guys. They want to win, right? So we've got to create systems for them. And if it doesn't work right away, help them out. But eventually, man, now they run with it. Feel free, guys, by the way, like, Glassberry Kickboxing, like that's my gym, just fully, if you guys ever look it up. But like, have fun with it. Let them run with it. Cool. Totally side quest there, quick. Does anyone find this like tactical stuff valuable? Yes? All right, sweet. And so now, guys, as your team is doing this like every day, right? You've got the ads rocking with pillar 1. You've got the content going out, pillar 2, and you got this all road system rocket, right? Your catch-all offer continues to grab more and more leads without spending $1. And this is where the compound effect really starts to kick in, right? Like I said, we're going to stack on top of each other. And so now let's look at how the math plays out real quick. On pillar 1, we spent $2,500 on ads. We had $25 leads, so it'd get you about 100 leads, okay? Again, this could be a week for you. This could be a month for you, like whatever. But like the relative difference is what matters, right? And so we're closing about 10% of leads. You get 10 contracts out of that. Your CAC is $250. And so you're 2 to 1. But look what happens when we actually put a second pillar, right? This other channel in place, increase leads by about 25%, which is, you can do that all day long. Now, because they're organic leads, they actually close at a higher rate. They've actually taken the time to look into you. We found this, we tracked this. They close at a higher rate. And so now we're closing 12% of leads. We right there just increased sales by 50% More leads, higher closing rate. That's it, okay? Without spending another dollar on ads, we drove CAC down, right, to $166. We're 4 to 1. We just doubled our ROI, and this is how gyms are gonna win going forward in the environment, right, of higher lead costs. You guys seeing this? Yes? All right, sweet. So we doubled the ROI and just like that. And again, like I said, this could be a couple days for you, depending on the operation. You guys might have tons of locations, maybe one. The numbers, whatever that is for you, it's the relative difference is what matters, okay? Not is this a week, is this a month? Doesn't matter. Cool. And that's how we increased new member sales by 50%, right? Just by bolting on a second pillar. And I know you guys obviously want the most bulletproof, the best model. And so for that, you need pillar 3, because pillar 3 is how we increase new member sales by 100%, 120, without spending another dollar. Cool? So here's the final piece of the puzzle. Pillar 3 is your cleanup offer. What's it called? Guys, on the cleanup offer, it's a shift in strategy. Think about it. Offer 1 or pillar 1 and pillar 2, they're both inbound strategies, meaning you have leads coming to you on both of them. Okay? They're inbound. Ads, people reacting to your content coming in, right? On the third one, we go outbound to them. Cool? So think about it. Even as strong as that pillar, that model was, where you guys had both running, you guys saw the numbers 4 to 1 on your ROI, you still have a ton of leads on your list that never buy. You already saw it. We closed 12%, which means 88% of those people never bought. And so as I looked at that, I'm like, we got to figure this out. How do we turn them into paying members, right? Over time, this stacks and stacks and stacks. And so when I realized this, I had to figure out a way to change this. And so the good news is, guys, we figured out a way to consistently, repeatedly turn those old leads into paying members. And the best part is we figured out how to do it on autopilot, okay? And so the third pillar is your cleanup offer, and this is my final gift to you guys today. And the crazy part is how simple it is, right? So the cleanup offer is a simple text campaign. It's super, super simple, right? That makes it, and that's what makes it work so well. And so the good thing about this, guys, is it feeds the business in any way you need it to. So you could use this to launch a new program, get a massive cash injection, right? Sell people directly into membership. Whatever you guys need at the time, you can craft the offer around that, all right? And here's how it works. We're gonna do some text reach outs to old leads and past members. You're gonna send out an offer with a reason. You're gonna include some scarcity and urgency, so you got some FOMO there, right? People don't wanna miss out. And you're gonna use what I call the reply why method to get the highest take rate on the offer itself. That, combined with the 3-text framework I'm gonna give you guys right now, the exact framework to do, or to use to do this thing's gonna crush. So this is exactly how you guys can turn old leads into paying members real quick. So the 3-text framework. I know this is in the weeds, really, really tactical, but this took, I think it was 17 different iterations of this, okay, to figure out. So please, I hope you guys are digging the details, all right? So this is how it works. 3-text framework is 3 texts over 3 days. So day 1 is new offer text. Day 2 is quick question. Day 3 is you missed it. That's it. Crazy simple. New offer, quick question, you missed it. And it looks like this. You send out a message, hey Jen, you can put their name in, whatever, right? Celebrate one of our newest members losing 30 pounds in 8 weeks on one of our 3 new programs. We're giving away 10 free transformation passes. Let them know what it includes, and then say, hey, if you fall into this category, right, which is you got some fitness goals and you want to pass, just reply why. No thinking required, right? And all of a sudden you're gonna get whys in your inbox right there, okay? From old leads, dusty leads, ready to throw money at you for the new thing, okay? Real quick golden BB, guys, this is huge. When they actually reply why, don't go back and forth with them. This is it. Hey, calling you now, pick up the phone, boom, because that will actually get you guys more schedules, all right, and more sales than any back and forth ever would. Cool? Cool. Now, day 1, some people replied, some people said stop, fuck off, whatever, right? It's just, that's how it goes. But day 2, some people did not respond yet. So on day 2, we're gonna hit them up again, conversational. Just ask a question. We'll remind them about the offer, but then we just ask them, what would be a dream come true fitness goal if we could help make it happen for you? And then from there, you'll get a why, because they're like, oh man, I feel bad, now they're having a conversation with me. right? Or they actually open up, tell you their life story, whatever. Cool? And it's the last one that I really love. It's the we're full. So we let them know, hey, we're full, you know? This is anybody that's obviously ghosted you for 48 hours, they haven't replied. But since I'm still getting responses, I decided to let 20 people come in for a free fitness session to get a jump start next week. And with this positions you as high demand, right? But you can also come in and scoop up a few more. And this is how you don't look desperate when you send out different offers, okay? You guys like this stuff? Sweet, all right. Last golden BB, guys. I know that we're covering a lot. We're covering a lot. A lot of you guys have big lists, okay? And if you don't, you're all going to once pillar 1 and 2 are rocking. It's gonna grow. We went from having a couple hundred to 18,000. This is actually, that's why it's grainy. That's a screenshot from my CRM. So 18,000, some of you guys maybe have way more than that. But at the end of the day, all right, the key, I can't stress this enough, is not to blast your audience all at once, okay? Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a few issues, right? You're gonna have, you know, the carriers, networks don't like it. You get it. Obviously, even if you get yourself a software to handle everything, you can't do it all at once. But the bigger problem is if you blast everybody at once, you and your team can't handle the responses fast enough to have deep meaning, like actual, like fast, you know, response times and get on the phone. You're gonna lose way more sales than you would make, okay? You have just this small window, okay? And so what you guys wanna do is you wanna drip, don't blast. Get yourself some kind of software that handles like the actual dripping of it. Send to only 50 people per day. And the way this looks is if, let's say you have 2,000 people on your list, a lot of you guys do. You send 50 people a day, it lasts you 2 months, 250 people per week, right? And this starts a whole new channel for you guys to actually set and close appointments. Cool? As you keep rocking with pillar 1 and 2, it's obviously gonna grow. So like with my team, like 18,000 leads, that's 6 months. They send 125 out a day, Monday through Friday, right? You guys getting this? As it grows, you can up that. 125, Monday through Friday, 6 months straight, hit the end, retool the offer, send out again. And just like that, they have 3 channels rocking, right? And this is exactly what we've seen for any model and any gym in our community now working, okay? So regardless if you guys are a health club, your strength training, kickboxing, Pilates, this doesn't matter, right? One-man operation, it does not matter. And this is the new way to acquire clients consistently at the lowest cost possible. So let's look at the math real quick to wrap up all 3, okay? Again, this is for like every 100 leads from pay ads, right? And so let's look at the difference. So with 1 pillar, right? And all 3 pillars, obviously we only spent $2,500 in ad spend as an example. We went from 100 leads to 125 to now 150. Because with the 150, you had those other 25 raised in their hand. And that's what we would call the lead. So they actually, boom, somebody said reply Y. Now, we go from $25 lead cost to $20 lead cost blended. It's a blended lead cost because we have leads from multiple places, and we're gonna end up here with all 3 pillars rocking $16 lead cost. Driving it down, we're closing higher percentage of all the leads because anybody from an organic site or that actually was on your list and does raise their hand, closes at a way higher percent. And so now with more leads and a higher closing percentage, we went from closing 10 new clients to closing 22, right, on that 2,500. And this is just an example. You guys can see the ratios here are crazy different. And so this is how you drive CAC down substantially. From 250 down to 113, and exactly how basically any gym can spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on ad spend and actually get an amazing return, right? $13,000, $15,000, $20,000 in front-end cash. Obviously, that's where the pricing model on the first one came in, right? And that's how we went from 2 to 1 to 6 to 1 and basically bulletproofed. And just to give you guys like a little bit more insight here, because if I was sitting in your seat and be like, okay, cool, how much were your leads? Like, was that, like, what's going on in your market? Right? If I was up here with dollar leads, that'd be a different story. But this is just like the last, I don't know, what's I say, March, and then last 7 days. So my market's no different, and I tell my story because that's really all I can do. I'm not up here to be like, look, look at this gym, it's the best. There's plenty of people in our community that profit so much more than this gym. But I can tell you, I've used this as a lab to figure out, does it work, right? Is it repeatable? Is this beneficial for the industry? And so when you look at a market that has $25, $35, $55 leads, and we can still acquire clients for less than $100, that is a bulletproof model. And so last month, they were able to spend less than $4,000, have a $93 CAC, right? And get 40 members on that, which is absolutely insane. If you've never tracked your CAC, maybe it doesn't hit as hard, but if you guys do, obviously, you know the power of this, okay? One of the biggest things you guys can do, obviously, to have a profitable model, like Cale said, is make sure that your CAC, your front-end cash, and your LTV, they just get as far away from each other as possible. And a lot of people figure out, focus on how can I get more money, how can I extend LTV, but when you drive CAC down at the same time, things get crazy. By the way, these numbers, real numbers, by the way, just for like Q1, these numbers aren't any like pay in full specials, whatever. So this gym is just consistent, profitable, acquisition, okay? So this is just the profit numbers, just to give you guys a peek behind the curtain. Now, the money's cool and all, guys, but if you guys really want to step up your game, you guys have a responsibility to be in front of your market, to be in front of people when they need you most. Because maybe they opted in and then they ghosted you. Maybe they had some anxiety about coming in. They weren't ready yet. But somewhere along the way, they're going to need you, right? And just like Amanda said, she bolted on this last piece, and she's like, wow, I just had this woman pour her heart out that she's literally done nothing with her fitness since we last spoke. Right? All from leads I already bought. All right? So again, going back to you guys want to make an impact, right? Your acquisition system matters because they are going to go somewhere else if you are not there when they need you. And so guys, you can see guys, if you stack these all together, right, you'll have the unfair advantage. You'll be able to drive CAC down. You can outmarket your competition, right? And you can bulletproof your gym and take on whatever 2024 and 2025 has to throw at you. Now, before I wrap up, Dr. Joe gave me some advice. I just want to do the same for you guys, okay? He said there's two types of people, right, in the world, or at least in his office. And the same goes for gym owners. First, obviously we all met them, before. A lot of them are outside those doors. The ones that say, my market's different, ads don't work in my area, I was crushing it before COVID. Hear a ton of that. There's nothing I can do, everything sucks, right? And then there's the other ones, the ones that take control, the ones that do whatever it takes, right? The ones that create your own economy, the ones that get in the right room, and they understand that they don't have to go it alone. My family is incredibly grateful that I made that move. And for you guys to be in this room, you've already taken that step to say that you want to go to that next level. Who wants to go to that next level this year? Say, let's go. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys. It's been an incredible honor being up here, guys. You've been amazing. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for your time and attention. Let's keep GymCon rolling. Thank you.